Terrifying.
Yeah, technology is terrifying. Okay, so when we last left our heroes, because some people are new and there were some people who missed it, and some people like Brice, you were just drunk and forgot. The castle is riddled with disease. The Duke's wife has passed away, and both the Duke and Dane are riddled with some horrible disease. Earl's grandma turned up, and so Alan has been staying with Earl's grandma for the last couple of days.
This will end badly.
Basically, what the Duke has found that there's some brews up the river because of your actions with the Agamori. The Agamori sent a shaman down who did the investigation to find out where all the spirits have come from, and you found out there was brews, and you've been given a bunch of linen clothes and stuff to make bonfires with, and some cures for diseases, and sent up the river to fight brews. You pull over, the Newtons pull over onto the bank. Further upstream, you can see the village of Vice, which was apparently in a bad way. The Duke's asked you to check it out when you're on the way there. And begin. We've been joined by Shashalian, who is...
Shashalian.
We're not sure exactly what he is yet. He seems to be some kind of warrior, I believe, though. Is that right, Dave?
That's true.
Dressed as a shaman.
Yes. He's quickly disrobing all of his shaman robes and donning bits of armour as quickly as possible.
He's been travelling in disguise.
Clever.
Right, so yes, the Newtons pull up their reed boats and you disembark onto the bank. The Agamori shaman is with you, but he is going to stay outside because the entire castle area and all of the river has got just spirits flowing down it. So he's going to sort of give you some spiritual cover on the other end, as it were.
In our castle, was anybody going a bit like loopy from the spirits or the disease or anything like that?
Yes, there's different diseases, but there's one called brain rot, which actually affects your intelligence, and the more you suffer from it, the worse you get until you go loony. Yes.
So we could be walking into a completely hostile situation. Okay.
You're almost certainly walking into a completely hostile situation. That's what you do. Right, so peering overhead, there's like a muddy trail that leads down to the water where people lead the cattle or the whatever, and they collect water from the river. So you can see up this muddy trail, it looks like there's about a score of reddish-brown bush and mud huts among a grove of trees above the river.
Do you see anybody moving around?
If you move closer, you can, yes. As you approach up the road, you squelch up the road, you smell rotten corpses. It's really strong. From this distance, it must be quite a lot. And you do see somebody moving about in one of the backyards next to the huts.
Just going to say it now. Zombies.
Oh, they want to really hope not.
So what would you like to do?
What time of day is it? Will I look out of place if I take out a torch?
You would, yes. You could arrive any time you wanted. I believe you said morning. Was that correct?
Probably.
Or were you going to do a night attack? Does anybody remember? Does anybody have a preference?
Probably first thing in the morning. We've got the light.
Right, yeah. Well, you arrive first thing in the morning?
I'll whip my shielded axe out, just as a precaution.
Yeah, I'll just unholster my broadsword.
Have we got a map of this place, Richie, or...?
No, it's just a grotty little village with about a dozen huts in it.
Do we know how many people roughly were living in here?
You do, but I can't remember. It's only
Can I
about
try?
30 or
can I
40
try-
max.
Can I try sneaking up to these muddy huts without being seen?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Hang on, because I've not used this in ages. So I've lost everything. Hang on. Got to find my character sheet and pop it out. There it is.
Dave, do you have 2 monitors by any chance?
Nope.
It's just much easier to pop your character onto the second monitor, and then you can just.
But you can make it as a tab if you wanted to, and just have it in the same window.
Oh, I specialed. Hee.
Nice. Chris draws his broadsword, sneaks in, sticks to the side of the road where the bushes are, creeps up. Chris, as you get closer, you can see an old hunched over lady. She's got a basket under her arm, and she's flinging out what looks like chicken feed. There's about half a dozen scrawny looking chickens that are pecking about at her feet in her back garden.
Okay, that's weird.
She hasn't spotted you. The smell of decay is incredibly bad. You see, that's the only person that you see, but it appears that they've either stacked the corpses in a hut or something so that they're not all just lying about in the street, because the smell is so strong. There must be quite a lot of them.
Can he see her hands at all?
Yeah, she's feeding her
Does she
chickens.
look? It's got like human hands, or like it's like rotten flesh hands, or discoloured.
No, she's just a plain old grey-headed woman, stooped over. Her skin is wrinkled and burnt in the sun, and she's making cluck cluck noises and throwing corn to what's left of her chickens.
I think I may run over and just chop her head off. Just to be sure. No, I won't do that.
Right. I'll move up on the other side of the trail. So if I move quietly up, she'll look at me and not.
She's never going to see you walking around in all that armour.
Oh, I've got leather on. So.
Oh, should be even quieter. Oh, should have wore your armour.
I'm going to stay outside, but I'm going to cover them with me.
You're going to cover them with your bow, okay? Right, so basically you get quite close, but then you step on a twig. There's a loud crack. She turns around. She looks and she squints her eyes as if she can't see very well. She says, "Hello, who's that?" I mean, you're standing plainly in the open, but she obviously can't.
Just pretend to be a tree.
Right, I say, I don't know what it's called, old mothers or something like that. Say, hail, old mother. What's happening in your village?
She says, "Oh, hello there, young man, is it? My eyes are not what they used to be." She says, Death has come upon us. She says, those that's not dead has fled, and I'm just left here with my chickens.
Why haven't you left?
She says, where would an old woman go? I've grown up here since I was a child. I can't travel. I'm too frail. You can see she's lame. So as she's walking, she's limping on one side. She's like, there wasn't enough of the villagers left who could carry an old woman like me anyway.
Good.
Good.
Where's the smell coming from?
She says, well, before the others left, they took what bodies there were and put them in that hut there at the end of the village. We didn't have any means to burn the bodies.
Rich, can I cast detect enemies?
You certainly can, yeah. That's a power times 5 roll. You click on your power. There's a little luck rune next to your power. Oh, there is actually a spirit magic thing next to the magic on your character sheet. Can you find it? So you look at your character sheet on main. Yeah, down where it says Spirit Combat. It says Spirit Combat on yours 95, which is too high. Then you go down to Spirit Magic, and then it says Charisma Limit, and then the first little look icon next to where it says Charisma Limit, you click on that and it'll cast your spell, or you'll attempt to cast a spell. Yeah, right. Dave, you cast Detect Enemies. There is no enemies within range.
What's the range on that again?
I think it's 50 meters. It's quite
And
big.
the old woman's within range, yeah?
It is on the old woman's in range. If you got your journal, it's in the magic bit. The range should be that for that. But anyway, you get close enough, you cast it. She doesn't appear to be. She doesn't appear to be an enemy.
I'm going to come out from behind the hut that I've been standing behind and approach her and ask her if she'd like us to burn the bodies.
She shrieks and goes, "Oh, my heart! Oh, my eyesight must be worse than I thought. I didn't even see you coming there." Yes, please. I couldn't do it myself. I'm far too frail.
That's fine. I'm going to whip out a torch and go and set fire to the huts that the bodies are in.
Yeah, you've been given stuff to burn bodies with and burn brew with, so you have appropriate clothing. You've got linen gloves and linen overrobes and stuff to make a big bonfire, a big body bonfire. She says, "But thank you, young ones. It's so kind for you to be nice to an old woman." The chickens are all like losing their feathers and looking not particularly great, to be honest. And the corn she's thrown out, it doesn't seem to be. It looks like it might be a bit mouldy, as if she's basically scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Old mother, what were the people of the village doing just before the disease broke out? Was anyone messing around at the river or near its headwater?
She says, it came from the river, the disease, the water, it stank. It was Muria. Muria said she'd have her revenge, and she has. She said she would come again to the village, and when she did, all of the doors will be shut by death. It's 20 years. This is what she told the headman in a dream. It's 20 years. Prepare your people for the end. And the next day, the first death occurred.
Who was Muria?
She says she was a little girl a generation ago. I remember well. I was a young woman then. I was most handsome, and then she flutters her wrinkled eyebrows at Krish, because he cuts quite a dashing figure.
You're in there.
You're in there, Krish. They were the poorest and the most despised of the folk of Weiss, for the father had proven to have stolen what he could from others who lived in Weiss. At that time, we were all poverty-stricken and in constant fear of the nomads who burned and robbed. Muria and her family were forced to live by the river apart from the town, and soon after her mother and father became seriously ill. Muria, only a child, went from hut to hut seeking aid for those she loved, but all the doors were closed to her in revenge for the thefts. By the next year her mother and father had died, and she was alone, and she came again to the village and told all that a day would come when all the doors of Weiss would be shut by death, as they were shut against her dying parents. Then she left Weiss forever, and we all supposed her dead. That's who Muria is, dearie.
And she's been away for 20 years.
Yes, 20 years it was. I remember it as it was yesterday.
Uh-huh.
She says, all of the spirits, they're coming downstream.
Can she remember the exact date when she went away?
They don't do dates. It was some 20 seasons ago.
Okay, I was just wondering if it's like, spot on 20 years or something.
Time gets a bit funny around sacred time.
And old people as well.
It's because we've got a direct line, Rich.
Yeah.
Well, shall we leave
price
her
comparison websites. We go straight through to God.
Shall we leave her hut alone so she can stay there, and then we'll pick her up on the way back if she's still alive?
Wow. Okay.
Well, we could take it to kill Brew. I mean, I think we're probably giving her the easy way out of the...
Oh,
Should I just chop her head off?
could use her as a distraction.
She looks at you. Andy, are you coming forward from the river or are you staying by the boat?
Well, if there's a conversation going on, I'll start wandering up in their general direction.
She squints her eyes and she says, "Oh, bless my eyes. I haven't fed you today. Would you like some corn?" And she holds out a handful of mouldy corn and starts scattering it on the ground in front of you.
That's
Easy, big
rotten.
fella.
Thank you, Mother. That's most kind.
She sort of starts and goes, Oh, my mistake. Oh, sorry. I thought you were one of my chickens. I did. I'm sorry, you're one of them talking fellas, aren't you?"
That's correct. One of them four fellas.
I look at Andy, give him like a calm down sign.
I'm just going to tease him and just say, "My little chicken." Ah.
My little chicken, do.
If anything, I feel a bit sorry for her, to be honest.
Well, we can't take her with us. So...
Not indecision. Should I just chop her head off?
Can you imagine how
The
she'd
boss
react
might get
to
across
our
of her.
boatman?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the Newtons are going to drop you off further up the river, but then you can take her up in the boat, and the Newtons will be turning around because Newtons are not stupid enough to go and fight Brew. I mean, you'd have to be really crazy to do that. So you can take her up the river with our chickens, and then the Newtons will take her back to the fort. If that's what you're looking for.
Well, that sounds like a plan.
Let me just chop her head off.
Chris has got really bloodthirsty in the intervening months, hasn't he?
I just don't see the point in wasting our time. She's nearly dead anyway.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be the sort of caretakers of this region. Our level of care, well, if you've got a problem, we'll come and chop your head off.
She could be infected. She could be infected. We don't want to spread the disease. We should be looking to cut it dead. And I think she's probably infected. She's been around these dead bodies for far too long. I think we should just chop her head off and chuck her in the pile with the bodies.
Can't
Be
you
done with
see with spirit light if she's infected?
You can cast it. Earl can cast it.
I'll
Is
cast
that-
Spirit Sight and see if she's infected.
Right.
When
I've
I cast...
got to quarantine this.
What? What language is he speaking?
Isn't quarantine a New Polorian word?
Yeah, is it in a town?
Right. You cast Spirit Sight. There are a lot of spirits of disease hanging around the hut, but there aren't any hanging around the old woman.
Not infected then.
Is she remarkably powerful?
No, she's not. She's She's just like an old nana, basically, with a half a dozen sad-looking chickens.
So basically, the spirits are scared of her.
Well,
It's now it's frightening.
they're not hanging about her, that's one thing.
Did they chop her head off?
It's all right, just clean. Stop chopping everything's head off.
Yeah. Where were you last week when we fought 2 tigers and a triceratops? Right, so is that the cunning plan? You're going to take her upriver with her chickens in little baskets, burn all the bodies?
What about the chickens? Are they diseased? I think we should kill the chickens.
I'll check the chickens.
No, the chickens are not diseased. They're very sickly looking because they haven't been fed any good grains recently, but they're not diseased chickens.
Fine.
Just leave her. We'll pick her up on the way back. I'm hoping this is going to take a day, 2 days
Yeah.
at the max.
Brew were bad, by the way, boys. We need to be proper careful. Oh no.
We're always careful.
So all the bodies have been stacked in the hut. Are you just going to burn the hut? Because it's...
I've just set fire to the hut. The whole thing. There's no point taking them out. Just chuck a torch in there.
Just burn
Andy,
the
you
lot.
got any Molotovs?
Sadly, not with this character.
If we set the hut on fire, that should do the job realistically, shouldn't it?
Yeah. You've been given by the Duke 5 packets of healing herbs, a large bundle with linen gloves and blankets to stack the bodies, and fire making equipment. So you certainly have enough to burn a hut down.
I'll just use the fire. I'll just use the fire making equipment and just set fire to the hut.
I'll have
Supposed
Gracie stand near the hut for 10 seconds and try not to set it on fire. It'll burst into flames.
Right. So after a few minutes, the hut catches fire. There's a merry blaze, a terrible stink of burning flesh. The number of flies that comes flying out from the doors and the holes in the roof is horrendous. It's like a thick cloud. But yeah, you burn the hut full of the bodies. And are you leaving the old woman here? Are you loading her at the boats for the Newtlands, or?
We'll leave her here, get her on the way back.
I'm gonna walk away and sheath my blade before I chop her head off.
Okie doke.
Is it worth having a search of the village? Not being a materialistic bastard and all that?
Well, you can certainly have a search about, but you don't find anything. You see, all of the huts aren't full of dead bodies. Everything's being stripped. Everything that can be carried is being carried. There's a few pots and odds and ends, but the whole place has been stripped and obviously either loaded into wagons or on oxen or whatever, and
All right.
getting out of there. There's no sign of the headman or anything like that. And the guy who you did meet, the climbing specialist, there's no sign of his body either. He's gone missing.
They might have headed off away.
That's true.
Is it worth having a quick skeg around the outside of the village to see if there's any brew tracks or anything? Whoever's really good at tracking.
I can do that. I'll just go around the perimeter of the village looking for any obvious tracks of patrols or anything.
Right, okay. Yeah, it's a track roll. Anybody else can make a track roll if you want to have a look about.
I'll try, but my track's crap.
Yes, but my luck picking was at 1% and I made it.
Dope.
Crap at this tracking thing.
So where is Crudan's success?
This truck.
Shashalian
Good one,
has succeeded at tracking. Wow. With his 5%.
Oh, get in.
Good one.
Right,
Lag.
so there are several successes. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of lag there. There were several successes there. So you scout around the outside of the village. You don't find any brew tracks, but you do find a lot of tracks heading away, and it looks like the survivors of the village plus some beasts of burden loaded down, and they're all heading out. And over to the east, they don't look like they're heading towards the Duke's land, the castle.
Just so I know what I'm looking out for, what did the brew look like?
Brew looked like a humanoid with the head of a goat, if you can have such a thing as an average brew. A bit like a satyr, but they're highly chaotic, so a brew can breed with anything, and whatever it breeds with, it takes that like characteristics, like a bit like an alien. So if a brew breeds with a rhino, you have a rhino brew instead of like a goat brew. So they're highly variable, but the average, in quotation marks, brew is a goat-headed man.
How I think about it is if you played Diablo 1, the goat men from Diablo 1.
Yeah, that's basically a brew.
Okay, cool.
Right. The old woman, as she's departing from the village, says, don't forget to tick those that succeeded at the skills. Says, just remember, if you go into that cave at the head of the river, it's bad luck to go into a cave. She said, we had somebody here who knew our cave very well, but he died. And then she goes back to feeding her chickens with her corn, unless you've left her any...
Whoa. Wait a
You
minute.
want to chop her head off now?
Who went in the cave?
She says, old Ted there. Yeah, and the hut's still smoking. He's in the bottom of that pile there somewhere.
Was Ted the first one to get sick?
No, this was years and years ago. Ted went in the cave and came back, and he didn't say anything. Everybody knows it's bad luck to go in a cave.
Is there any way we can speak to the spirits?
Not that any of you are able to, I don't think.
Oh, if only we had a shaman. Looks at Davy.
Oh, I suppose we'll have to go to the cave then. I mean, he came back alive, so...
Do we know roughly how far we've got to go to where this cave is, Richie?
Yeah, it's a few miles upstream. 6 miles is so like.
Because I think we should get dropped off roughly half a mile, and then we'll go on foot so we don't get seen or discovered.
The river bends almost back on itself, but it's 6 miles north from Vice, and then about 8 miles round in the U, and then another 6 miles to the cave, which is on the edge of the north end of the Borderlands. I'll just see if we have it on this map. I can drag it.
What sort of offerings do people make river spirits?
Just the usual. Any foods, drinks. You tend to put them into the river. Are you thinking of making an offering to the Zolafel?
Yeah.
There's no lady we don't need.
The Zolafel has a very nasty reputation, and I figured it couldn't hurt to have it on tight.
No, not at all. I couldn't get it. So you're basically heading up all the way past the of Wise.
Rich!
Yes.
I know what I'll pour in the river. Clean water.
Yeah, that would absolutely do it. And are you making a worship roll?
I am making a
sacrifice
worship roll, and I'll sacrifice a magic point, another point of power.
Right, so I'll just move you to this map here, and then I think it's Alt. You'll have to bear with me. Has everybody zoomed into where I've just clicked?
Yeah. What roll was I saying? What roll? Ceremony.
Ceremony roll, yeah, and sacrificing a magic point.
Trying to find ceremony.
Yeah.
Don't think it exists anymore, Rich. That ceremony doesn't exist. Is it meditate now or
I thought so.
worship? It's worship. Isn't it?
Worship, yeah. I have lost my sidebar. I am just trying to get it back.
I've got worship
Worship will do. Just generalized worship. You know how to make a sacrifice.
And I made it.
Right. So you sacrifice you pour clean water into the river. You say a little prayer to the Zolrafel to protect you. You get all the warm and fuzzies.
Ooh, I like worms and fuzzies. Like I say, the Zolrafel has a reputation for being a spiteful and vicious river.
Right, because the map is the wrong way round, it's actually to the west of the Weiss. The map is drawn as if it was to the north, but you head west along the cut.
All right, yeah.
And I've had to reload Roll20, and it's taken about 2 minutes. It was lagging earlier on when I was trying to log in and give Dave a character sheet. So I assume they must be busy tonight. But I'm thinking of getting Fantasy Grounds anyway for Christmas. My Roll20 is still loading, so that is good. Right, so Earl does that. Does anybody else wish to do anything? Andy's familiar with like the river spirits and the river gods, obviously being so closely tied to water. My Roll20 is completely lagged out. It just says Roll20 loading.
Super.
So I'm jamming with the theatre of the mind. And basically, you would like to be dropped off about half a mile away. Is that correct?
Well, I'm just looking at the map and I'm wondering, I don't want to, basically drive up on the boat to the river mouth because they'll probably have scouts out and whatever. So I reckon where the bend is on the north side, and we'll loop round. What do you reckon, Al?
Yeah, it seems like a good idea.
Won't take us that long to cover that. Have you got a detailed map?
I do, but Roll20 is completely crapped out of me, and I have a white screen at the moment.
No, well, whichever way's got the most cover, that's going to be to our benefit. Will go either the north or the south bank. So, you know what I mean.
Right. Okay. The Valinar River flows directly out of the side of the cliff. It's too rocky and shallow for the first 200 metres. Boats go right to the cliff face, so they'll drop you off about half a mile. You want? They could get closer, but that's fine.
No, half a mile.
Framed on either side by groves of pines, the mouth of the headwater cave is easily seen from where you beach. To the right of the cave mouth, the canyon wall juts out, then falls back along a notch from the freestanding pinnacle, and the cliff towers for hundreds of metres overhead. Like a silver tongue, the river flows from the cave in a smooth, shallow sheet over the now smoothed rock falls. The land either side of the river is flat up the cliffs with occasional boulders and little grass except for a fringe right at the water. To the right of the cave mouth, the canyon wall curves out, then bends away in another direction. At the tip of the bend, it falls back from a pinnacle which is freestanding. In the crotch of the V between the canyon wall and the pinnacle is a large boulder with a series of trees around it, but it just looks like it's a cave wall there. It doesn't seem to be anything unusual. What else we got?
And we've heard that one before.
At the mouth, the headwaters of the cave is about 21 metres wide and 12 metres high. And that is what you see from that distance. And I will just attempt to completely restart Roll20 because it is gone on the fritz.
Okie
I have
Just out of curiosity, where are the boats waiting for us?
We have detailed maps. I'm just trying to get there. Hey, I'm back. Okay, I actually have a map. So, yeah, I'm sorry I sounded quite distracted there. Me Roll20 had gone completely, and I was just trying to figure out a way to actually roll some dice.
These things happen. At least you've still got power.
Yeah, that's true.
So far.
Okay, so you can. Are you all looking at the vice cut?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So, from the village of Weiss, which is the little triangle, you've gone round the bend, and we can't zoom in any further. But you stopped about there. You can stop on the left or the right-hand side of the cave. That's up to you.
From the village of Weiss, we've gone round the bend. That sounds about normal.
And I hope, to be fair, that I've done this right and that the fog of war is in effect. I'm just going to check something. Right, that seems okay. And I can drop you on the map in a second.
The only reason I was asking about the boats is because I hope we're not walking all the way back.
No, that's why fast travel's in the game.
I've only got short legs.
We'll carry it, don't worry.
This is why I love Roll20. Right, hopefully, according to this, right, Dave can't actually say anything at all because I need to sort his talking out.
It's all dark.
Yep, I can say a whole load of notes at the minute.
Oh, there we go. Bottom left-hand corner.
Bottom left-hand corner. Right, hold on a minute. Ah. Yep. Wait a minute, I need to zoom in a little bit.
Yes, I would zoom in quite a way. So you want to be dropped off that side of the river. As you can see, there are some rocks, and the Valinar River that comes out of the cave is fast flowing and it's making a lot of noise. So one, it'll quite easily covers footsteps and the clank of armor, and two,
but
it
that
also
works both ways.
Yeah, I was going to say that covers both ways. Can everybody actually see now?
Yep.
Yeah. We have Maposa here, who's staying outside with his bodyguard and Kirby Brewstalker, who is the psychotic Stormbuller.
And Balbin, who will be staying there with him.
Is Balbin coming with you as well, yeah?
Yeah, but he's going to...
Balbin's our back.
Going to guard the rear.
And Earl's friend and mine. Right, Maposa is Earl's mate, and Kirby's the big guy, and it is Ulwazi, who is the shaman, as evidenced by his enormous shaman type mask. So they are being spiritual backup. They're setting up a camp over here in this little cubby hole of rock. And I believe I can clear the turn order thing, because we won't need that because there's going to be no combat.
We don't do fighting.
But yes, if you use the ruler, it's set to 1 meter. I can turn the squares on if you want.
I still can't see anything.
You don't mind.
Right, Dave, you should be able to now.
Nope, just a black screen.
Yeah, scroll down to the bottom left-hand corner, Dave.
Not the zoom bit, though.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Don't worry, that's caught my out loads of times.
Yeah, it should zoom you in. I can't remember if it's Control click or Alt click. That should pull you to where I'm indicating. I particularly like the picture of Ulwazi, the shaman, because he looks scary in his big mask.
Try cereal.
Hang on, are we all there?
Well, that's a question for the ages.
Yeah, no, I didn't mind it like that.
No, I don't think we are.
No, we're missing
Yeah.
a Crodan.
Thought we were.
Right, Crodan, who was having a sneaky
yeah.
fag over down by the boats.
I've just got black screen. Oh no, wait, I've appeared. That's why.
Yeah.
There you go. Dave is Shaman talking. I love it. Right, this is what you get when you're searching. Yeah, if we've got Crescendo there, right? So you to the side of the caves. It's early morning, heading towards dinner time because they've had to paddle up the river.
I wonder how much power it's cost to get all these spirits out. Quite a bit.
They're probably summoning them, or making them, or they've opened a portal in the spirit plane, or I don't know.
Okay.
They'll be doing a not good thing.
They'll be doing something. They're not necessarily creating them, but they may be doing something to attract them. Because that's
right. Okay. Can we, as we approach where we are, can we do a couple of rolls, everyone, just for a scan or a track to see if we can see any scouts or any tracks of brew around here?
Absolutely. Roll 20 permission. If you're looking for tracks, make a track roll.
Oh. Shit.
Right, Bracey, you see the tracks of...
Triceratops?
No, you see the tracks of what looks like to be 6 or 7 humanoids that appear to have looped round behind you and appear to be coming round behind you to ambush you.
Yeah, I know what that is. That's us.
No, you don't. You point this out to the party, so who wants to slap them on the head?
I was going to say, I made it my rule. Can I turn around and say, no, that's a pelican?
Yes. Earl, you do. It's quite faint because of the recent rains, but you do find a cloven hoof style track outside of the caves in the area you're in.
Oh, they're definitely in here. There's just got a bad case of cave goats.
Are brew normally nocturnal, or do they come out at any time?
They're just normal. They don't have a particular darkness affinity, so they are just sleeping as much as anybody else would. Bracey, you can actually take your track roll, remember, for a fumble.
Yep.
Right, so what's the plan? You're outside. Your Agamori friends are like, okay, well, we'll hold the fort for you. We'll make sure that we do the spirit defense. And Bobbin is staying out here with them.
I'm quite perturbed that we haven't seen any scouts or anything. Because I definitely have bloody scouts out.
Croydon, you can't hear anything due to the loud rushing water. You do, however, with your scan roll, you see what appears to be a scrap of clothing that is tied up on this bush here.
I will head over to there, but I will sneak.
You get a bonus of 20% on your sneaks because it's so loud.
I will also hide.
Croydon creeps over and hides in the bush. You find a scrap of clothing. It looks like normal tribal clothing. There is blood on it, as if...
I'll sniff the blood. Is it fresh?
That's a sense roll, please. It doesn't seem too fresh. Andy, you notice, because of your proximity to the water, that that water is absolutely filthy. In fact, can you make a scan roll?
Yes, 2 seconds.
Because Andy's all about the water.
Damn thing. A minute. Still getting used to this keyboard nipple. Bloody hell.
You can use the trackpad, you don't have to use the nipple. I mean, yes, it's probably more satisfying, but...
Yes. There you go.
Yeah, right. Because of your affinity with the water, you notice things about that other people don't, and even at that distance, you see an enormous turd floating down the river.
We're in the sewage.
A proper Mars bar.
I shall point this out to the lads.
Oh,
Look at the size of that. That's a proper jobby, that one.
Definitely wasn't laid by no chicken.
So, what do you do? Earl, you sniff this scrap. It doesn't seem to be fresh. Andy is examining the water that's coming out. What would everybody else like to do?
Is there any bits of, you said it's rain, is there any like little bits of mud anywhere and stuff like that?
Next to the river there is, yeah.
Yeah, don't want to use that.
I'll scan the area.
What are you looking for?
stuff.
And what stuff are you looking for there?
I have no idea where we are because
I'm looking to see if it's like an ambush.
Can you not see us, Krish?
no, I can't see anything.
Right, hang on.
Oh wait, no, I can. Sorry, right down at the bottom. Right.
Yeah.
See.
Generally, you'll start on the outside of caves rather than in the middle of them.
Well, you see, the thing is, I couldn't. All I had was a black screen. It's because I'm scrolled in too far, so I couldn't even see the bottom left corner. But
He was standing there staring at the ground, like lying down, staring at it.
so what's this in front of us? Is this the outside of the cave and there's some water? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take a little. Oh God, I'm drawing. I can't delete it. I have to delete that, Richie.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a little walk down here, if that's all right. And, something in there.
Right. As Krish comes around the corner,
If you look at what I'm seeing the corner of something, so I can't actually see what it is.
yes. Don't go any further yet.
I know there's something in there. So, guys, there's something in here.
Right. So, you come up short, just as you've apparently seen something, and you duck back round the corner of the. The cave. There are no shouts of alarm that you can hear, but you're not entirely sure.
I'm gonna look back at the rest. I'll look back at the rest of the group and beckon them over, waving my hand at them.
I'll creep forward.
Indicate that they should be quiet, very quiet. Put my finger to their lips.
I'll move quietly.
Right, so make some move quietly rolls. Remember, you've got a bonus of 20%. You can actually type the bonus into your character sheet.
You're having a little peek as well.
Oh,
Very good.
Oh, he's gone too far.
Right, no, you've stepped out into there, Bracey.
no, that was me. That's what I wanted to stop, but it's like you're saying, it's lagging and it's gone all fucking.
Yeah,
Pardon my French.
if you highlight your token and use your arrow keys, you can actually move one square at a time. It's
Right,
easy to do.
Okay. No, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stay at the corner, go low, and very slowly, like stick my head around so I can see to the right first, and then, scan an arc right to left to look down the river to see if I can see anything.
Right, okay, make a scan roll then.
I'm gonna have a little listen and see if I can.
Oh yes, just
Right, as you just put your head round the side, right up the river, you can see it splits into two. About 15, 20 metres up, you guess. And then on the left-hand fork, there's a bridge, but it's much, much further up, and it's through a darkened cave tunnel. It's slightly illuminated. It looks as if it may be some kind of luminescent fungus or something like that allows you to see the bridge in the distance.
right. I'll quietly relay this to the guys who are close enough by.
Okay.
I've had a little listen and a success on that. So can I hear whatever that thing is up the road?
You can see some kind of, you can hear some kind of braying laughter, and it sounds as if there may be the others responding to it. And then as you listen, another giant turd floats down the river past you. It's a lot closer this time, and you can smell it really badly.
Lads, they're shitting in the river. They're shitting in the river.
Is it steaming?
It is steaming, yes.
So that's very close and very fresh.
5 minutes and then you get a bottle of pop.
No bother. Right, so can you move to where you all currently are then before you run round the corner and get cut down by a hail of arbalest fire?
Well, I wasn't planning on doing that, so...
Just so we know where everybody's moved to. Obviously, they haven't seen you yet, that you know of.
Who's Ankubi Brewstalker? Who's that?
He is a Storm Bull Agamori. Sorry, you weren't here for last week. And Agamori are the tribe. They're a bit like the African Maasai, but they're called the Men and a Half. The shortest,
really tall. Yeah,
the shortest ones are 6.5 feet tall.
That's fine. We've met them before.
And yeah. Oh, yes, you have. You met them before. You're all mates with them. You've got a tattoo, a beast rune tattoo. You have to decide where it is, because it was
cheek.
part of the
I
Great Hunt.
knew that's where you were going to put it.
Earl's is in the dead centre of his forehead, an enormous beast rune, and Andy's is on his bill. And
mine's on my arse.
Mclovin's got a full sleeve of beast runes or something now, haven't you, Bracey?
Oh, yeah.
You went full on.
We went all in.
We were going to do a
All in.
Mike Tyson face one, but we thought,
Yeah. Right, so what's the cunning plan? You pass this information backwards and forth. You speak reasonably loudly, but not above a whisper, because the river it's a roaring river.
I think we should throw the chicken round the corner, and then he can pretend to just be swimming up the road, and he can go back. They might not recognise him as a actual duckman being thing.
That's pretty unlikely, as he is carrying a sword, shield.
No, he just needs to take that off for 2 seconds, just splash around in the water a little bit.
Well, I love this plan. I don't know how you feel about it, Andy. Take all of your armour off and go around the corner where the brew are.
I'm back.
Personally,
You just got to make quack noises. Or chicken noises. Take your pick.
personally, I think the lads can stick it up their arse. Wait a minute, where am I?
I wonder if Earl can disguise himself as a turd and float across the river.
I'm wondering, can we make a noise and maybe get one of them to come over closest to us, so at least we can take one out. If we can make one of them come to us, we can take one out, and then we'll just have to deal with the other, however many are around there.
Well, we don't know how many there is, so I'd rather find out first. There could
Right,
be like
hang on then.
20.
I will creep. I will lie down and creep, so my head's popping round the corner. To
Right, so as you're lying there,
Oh, what the fuck is that thing?
that brew guy is obviously talking to some others, as you see. Some others moving backwards and forwards to the river.
Take a dump.
They're like they seem to be like rolling in it sometimes, like a cat, or
like they're shedding their attracted disease spirit.
that they just seem to be rolling. The water, when now that you're this close, the river stinks. It's discoloured. There's feces. There's rubbish like floating down the river.
So basically, the Tyne.
Yes, it's basically the Tyne.
Right, we walk across it, jumping from condom to condom.
Currently, through some miraculous thing, you have seem to have not been spotted.
How many are there? That we can
You've
see?
caught sight of one, maybe two. You've caught sight of one, definitely. It was talking to something else, and you maybe saw another one.
So there's at least 2, possibly 3 lads. I say we try and get one of them to come over to us by making some sort of noise or something like that.
Well, what I can do is I can cover the entrance, right, and draw a bead on the one that's talking, and then if you try to sneak up, as soon as it looks like it's noticed you, I'll shoot in the. So if you get close enough to hit it before it notices you, then I won't need to. Because I think it will alert them if we make noise to try and attract one. It would have to be particularly stupid to come out here, and since it's conversing and directing people, it's probably not that stupid.
Yeah, you generally get the feeling that they're pretty intelligent, or at least as intelligent as most human beings.
We should have brought that old lady with us. We could have sent her in the cave.
I did say that. I said use it as a distraction.
I mean, I was going to kill her anyway, so...
So feeding it to some hungry brew, nothing to do with that, eh? Right, so do we have a plan?
I can see even less.
Who's got the highest farming skill? Or herding?
What?
No, you're asking.
Well, if you're good at herding, you probably know what the noise is made by a rampant goat, so...
Right. You're the trickster dude.
I know.
You're the
right,
one with invisibility.
Oh, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Right. Can I have a do the same as what the thing you did, and have a peek out to see exactly where I can see this brew?
Yes, but you'll have to...
Very, very slowly and very quietly.
Yes, you'll have to make a stealth roll, and have a bonus of 20%, but you'll have to make a sneak roll. Sneak in?
Move quietly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you succeed because of the Russian nose. Right, so you move your character to the right. And that's what you... Right, if you're seeing exactly what I can see, you can see a fire, which is shedding light into the tunnel. And if you'll notice, the light from the fire is actually dimmed the further away it gets, because this is awesome.
It's such a geek.
Right.
I am.
The big one, are they looking down the river, or are they just looking around, generally talking to each other?
They're just generally talking to each other. They're moving backwards and forwards. They're sitting down and on that rock there. And as you can see, one of them's run over and he's rubbing himself in the water. There's like a horrible black foul stain coming off him and rolling down the river. Why don't you cast Spirit Sight right now?
I'm going to see if I can look at some tracks, see if I can figure out how many around. Oh dear.
It's semi-wet sand inside, so the tracks quickly get sucked up by the...
I can't see any tracks. Okay.
No.
Cool. It's just about because I fumbled and it was like despair, psychic turmoil.
There's a dragon in there. Any plans? Come on, gentlemen.
Right.
Any plans? Come on.
All right. How about, I'll cast silence. I'll cast invisibility. I'll move up, hugging the left-hand wall. Try and get up to roughly parallel to where they are. If you can't see it, I know where I'll be. Then basically, you guys charge round, go to engage, and I'll come up from the rear. And any that try to raise the alarm or run away, I'll take them out. Hopefully, we'll be able to kill them all before they raise the alarm.
Hang on, I'm going to just try it move quietly. Okay, I'm going to quietly come around the corner with you. I'll let you get in the position first.
Right, so you're not around the corner at the moment. You're just like literally peeking around with one eye so you can look into the cave.
Right. Well, I'll pass this back to... If we make a chain, we'll pass the information back to let them know exactly what it is.
Oh, so Chinese whispers. So by the time it gets back to Rualin, it's like your sister is wearing a banana in her ear. And Rualin's like, well, I don't know how that helps, but...
And I don't even have a sister.
And our family is deathly allergic to bananas.
Right, so I pass back the information that there's a brew. There's probably 2 or 3 in there. We're going to have to sort of try and sneak our way in so we can get the jump on them.
They will almost certainly see it if you step out. There's not enough cover along the edge of the wall.
Oh, okay. Fuck's sake. Well, I haven't got invisibility or anything like that, so I'm going to hang back then. And wait for the commotion and just charge him with my broadsword.
How about, right, I'll move up. I'll move up to roughly parallel to where they are. I'll wait until Brew 2 and Brew 3 aren't looking where I am. And I'm pretty sure invisibility only wears off you doing an offensive move, Rich, is that right?
Pretty sure, yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll get a rock or something and lob it when they're not looking, up behind them into the water or whatever. So
they look the wrong way.
So they look the wrong way. Then you guys can charge around the corner or try and move around the corner, and then hopefully we might get close enough to
engage. Yeah, cool. Engage. That sounds like a plan. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Earl?
I will get ready to make a plunging shot.
Right.
Because what I'll do is, when they charge around, I'll fire a shot and try and hit the guy in the cave entrance.
Yeah, just for some perspective, I've turned the grid on slightly so you can see how far you move. You've got your move rate on your character sheets. It's normally 8 for a normal humanoid.
God.
Except for poor little Andy with his little legs. I think you can only move 5, Andy. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
But you can move 8 swimming.
Hang on.
Right,
hang on. I'm just trying to think. Has nobody...
So it's 8 is it 8
illusionary sight, Rich. What's illusionary sight?
Illusionary sight, I believe that you create an illusion of something.
So basically, I could cast it a la bloody Mission Impossible, so it looks like if we all come around the corner hugging as one, it looks like there's nothing there.
No. You can create something, a picture of something like up to size 3 per point. So you could make it look like there was something there. You can make an illusion of a rock, but it's only sight, so it doesn't make any noise. You can't touch it. But you could make a size 3 child or a size 3 dog, something like that.
I wonder if
I'm getting visions of it now.
I wonder.
So Andy, Davey, Earl, and Ryan, do you have anything else that you want to add? They're passing this information back.
No, I'm ready to shoot.
So he could use an illusion to draw 1 or 2 of them to the front of the cave, then?
Well, to be fair, I think we'd prefer them to turn the other way and be distracted by something further deeper in the cave so that we can all make our way into the cave and shorten the distance between us before we actually engage them so we can try and take them by surprise a little bit.
I've got such a vision. Remember when Bugs Bunny dressed up as a female? Does anybody know what a sexy brew looks like?
A sexy size 3 brew.
Rabbit head.
Well, what's the range on illusionary sight? Oh, sorry, illusionary sight.
It should be listed there. It's about 20 meters or something.
20. Oh, God, 20 meters. That's
Can
not
you
good.
cast it on all of them?
No, he creates like an item. It creates an illusionary something, which then appears.
Right, okay, so all of them will see it all at once.
Yes. Depending on where you cast it.
Can I command whatever it is to, make a noise or do something?
No, because it's sight only. That's what illusionary sound is for.
Okay, right. Okay. All right, then how about
Maybe just have a giant turd, like a giant living turd, appear out of the water, looking all angry at them.
How about I cast invisibility, maybe go silent. I'll work my way around to the middle rock. I'll cast illusionary sight on the middle island. Maybe, a child or something. One of them's about to spot it. If not, I can throw a rock into the water or something. And then they'll turn around, get fixated on that, and you can just hide in the corner.
How many room points is it invisibility?
3.
And you've only got 3 room points.
All right.
Yes. Unless you
That's-
sacrifice power, you've only got 3 room points.
I think we should just stick with the first plan you came up with. Going invisible, chuck a rock, make them look the other way, and then we'll all pile in.
All right. Well, I'm using up all my room points straight away, but what the hell?
Right. So
Right.
You cast invisibility because you're not yet in combat. Even if you fail, you just keep trying until it works. So
Well,
you're now
I'll cast-
invisible.
I'll cast silence first. So I can just mooch on up because I'll burn a pretty fail me pretty stealth roll. Cast silence first, then invisibility, and I will move up to.
So you move 8. Right.
Yeah.
Gracie shimmers out of existence and moves off into the cave. Okay?
And I will get behind this rock here.
It's a bit more than 8, isn't it?
Well, I think it lasts more than one round though.
It lasts for 15 minutes or until you've done something to dispel it.
Right. Okay then.
Right, so I'm going to unholster my broadsword and wait for...
Right.
Before I actually move out, I look for a sizable rock that's going to make a very big splash.
Right. Well, there's lots of rocks knocking about on the sand. You move quietly along the side. Right. So everybody, can you please roll us some initiative, and then we can work out who does what in what order.
Wow. I knew it.
What is that noise?
It's the roll noise going through someone's mic.
What's initiative under?
Should be at your top bar, top left on the screen.
Click on your little. Oh, sorry, it's gone.
Dave might not have it because we've only just done his talking at the last second. I'll roll it for you, Dave, because it's D10 plus your dex. Right, has everybody rolled now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Descending. Oh, lovely. Oh, Rualin, 26, you're up there first.
Nice one, mate.
Right, so Bracey has disappeared into the cave. You can't really tell where he is, but he's leaving footprints all over the floor as he's moving. So let's see if anybody spots the Michael Bentine potty time footprints.
Well, I said I was hugging the wall.
That's true, but if they get a really good spot hidden roll, they'll be
Okay.
like, why is the footprints appearing?
Oh.
Right, so you get into position, but this guy at the back apparently notices something, and he moves one, takes a step forward towards towards this rock here.
Right.
Okay. You suspect you have a few seconds. Right.
I will fire a plunging shot at him as soon as I get the chance.
Okay. Right. So first up we have Rualin, then we have Crodan.
Right. Well, the first thing I need to do is fire up my fire blade. Remind me what I need to roll to get it there.
Yeah. So if you go onto your character sheet onto main.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Nothing like a big fiery sword to give
And
away our
then if
position.
you scroll down on the right hand side under where it says Spirit Magic.
Where a bit. Ah, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
you've got charisma limit, then a number, and then a little rune. If you click that rune, that's your spirit magic cast.
The first one.
Yes.
Right.
Right. Rualin pulls his short sword, and as known to happen, his short sword bursts into flames.
And then presumably I'm moving, am I?
Yeah, you are, but you can only move half, so you can move like 2 meters.
Right. Which will put... Come on, you bloody thing.
It's easier to use the arrow keys when it's laggy, and then like move a square, then pause a second, then move a square. Right, Crowdan.
Right. Well, I'm not appearing to be moving where I want to. But
Right,
I'll do
they are literally going to spot you any second. As
I'll drop a speed dot arrow on his head. Well,
Yeah.
on him.
Just 1 second, I need to go. Andy now emits light in 6/12 meters.
What the hell? Fucking thing.
Right. So Andy, you're glowing, lovely. Boom. So if I click Control L now, yeah, everything's nice and bright as now Andy is like a big glowing torch. Right, sorry, L, you can.
I hit him in the left leg.
I'll put you back.
7 down. Thank you.
Which one are you aiming at?
I can't see anything. It's just black. Apart from my... There's like a...
Right, so if you step there,
Still can't see anything.
you can't see anything. Why can't you see anything? That's the question.
I don't know.
Seeing still in his eyes.
Why are these tokens acting up when I had them all set?
I didn't touch anything. Yay, I can see.
Right, okay.
Whichever one looked like it was alerted, I'm shooting.
Right, so as you step out in the corner, because it's obvious that any second now they're going to notice that there's a great big fire blade in the entrance to the cave. The one at the very back is walking towards the wall, looking intently at the floor. The other
Shooting
three,
him.
the other three are not paying attention so far. Right, so for 7 damage, ooh, that's kind of hurty, like, to be fair.
Left leg, man.
Right.
I'll get ready to shoot him a second time later.
Yeah. Right.
I'll kneel down to one side to let people pass as I start restringing.
Right. You let out an arrow. It goes through and through. It doesn't stick in. He bleeds in pain. He doesn't fall to the ground though. But you've done quite a serious wound to him. Next up, Mclovin.
Right. Does Brew 3 kind of like snap to where the arrows came from? His line of sight.
He's never had time yet because this all happened so quick.
Right. I will move up and behind. Hang on. Oh, God. Yeah, that rock there.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ, hang on. It's going all weird again. And I will stop there for this turn.
Okay.
Ready? So if Brew 3, who's the only one who's noticed, comes after my footprints, I can take him one-on-one. If he doesn't and he stops and looks down to where the arrows come from, I can then move in from behind next turn and engage him.
Okay. Right, Shashal, you're next.
I shall move forward to here and cast True Blade or True Weapon on my...
Right, okay. True Weapon is on your rune. So you will use... what's the Humac rune, Ryan? For casting a spell? Death. Yeah, so you roll on your death rune, which is on your runes, and it takes effect instantly. You should have 75% in it, to be honest. Right. Chris, you are still behind the cave wall. You're just looking out, aren't you? You haven't stepped out yet. Is that
No, I
correct?
haven't stepped out yet.
Right. Okay, so bad things going to happen now because it's Revor's turn. Dave, just while you're finding that on your runes, it should be 75% on your death rune.
I need
Yeah.
two, like 1 minute again for a quick slash.
Yeah,
I'll be quick.
no problem at all. Andy, you are 1 to 50, and Earl is 51 to 100. 95 on Earl. Okay.
I'm having trouble finding the. Is it on main?
Yes, on main, Dave. Where your character sheet is, you've got like your head, arms, left leg, whatever, in a little diagram. To the right of that, you've got elemental rune affinities, yeah?
Yeah.
And then to the right of that, you've got power rune affinities.
Yeah.
So because you're a humanity, you should have 75 in the death rune. So type 75 into there. And then click on the actual death rune, and it'll make a roll. Obviously, we're doing David's character as we go, so we will manage.
Well, I pressed it, but doesn't say many things up.
Right, there'll be a box of appeared in the middle of your screen says mod, so click OK. It may be behind your character sheet because it doesn't put it at the top. Click OK.
Mod 0.
That's right. It's like if I say there's a modifier to that role, you would like type 20 into the mod box. So just click OK.
Yeah, it's submit.
Right, okay, Dave, you have not got 75% in your death rune. So in that little box it should say 75. You have failed anyway because you rolled a 79, but you should have 75%. So you step forward, but unfortunately Humac is not listening to you right at this moment. You can move another 2 meters if you wish, or you can just stay there. Right, we just need El because bad things are about to happen to him. Kane, you're up next though, so we can just jump back to El when he gets here.
He's back now. He's
All
sitting down now.
Okay, El, what's your power?
13. 14.
Okie dokie. Okay, Earl, I need you to please make me a con times 5 roll, please.
Zero 1.
Wow.
Oh, nice one.
Earl, the guy standing closest to you on the right, he turns and sees you all charging around the corner. He obviously invokes some kind of god magic. His skin all turns black and bubbles and pustules break out all over it. And it spreads all down his body, and then basically he holds his arm out to you, and the pustules burst, and a great squirt of like spiritual pus flies out and hits you in the face. But you
I bullet time it.
you bullet time it. You do feel close, just as you throw yourself to one side. You feel like a horrible, cold, sweaty, clammy feeling all down one side of your body, but you manage to avoid it. My rolls, my rolls. Okay, Kane, you're up, sir.
Right, I'm going to move. 1 second. Edit token. Don't want to do that. Just waiting for it to actually move me token.
Yeah, it's really bad tonight.
Yeah. And then I want to cast protection on myself.
Yeah.
Sweet. And that is me.
Right. Okay. Chris, you're up, sir.
Right. I'm gonna get me broadsword in my hands, and I'm gonna just leg it in there.
Right. Okay. You can move half your move and still attack, so that's 4. But you can move 8. You can't attack, but you can defend and get into melee range.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We get behind the rocks.
I was running into the room. There you go. That'll do.
Cool.
Right. The one that got covered in that horrible pustule type god magic thing, he brays an order out, and this brew here.
Lads, just to let you know, I'm probably going to be dead in a minute.
Maybe.
Behind you.
Maybe. Right. He does something. Right. He makes some gestures, and the GM clicks on the wrong button. Bracy, he starts to move away from you, away from the others, towards this tunnel. You can see his legs are moving incredibly fast. But because he seems
Even with a wound.
even with the wound, because he seems to have cast something first, he only gets that far.
Right. Okay.
Right, Brew 2 runs down and attempts to headbutt Krish. He leads with a head.
I'm going to try and dodge.
All right. Unfortunately, he fails. But Krish is where the blow is not, like the great commando that he is. Brew 1 runs down and takes a swing at a stab at Croden with a one-handed spear, which misses. Because
Just
he's
as well,
awesome.
the cheeky monkey.
These guys are pretty shit at fighting.
Yeah, they are, to be honest.
Until disease you, kill you, and fucking talks.
Yeah,
that's
but
gonna
you
be
can
Rever,
tell
isn't
that
it?
guy at the back was throwing rune spells about because that wasn't real pustules, but it was like the way when you cast your air magic or your lighting magic, all your tattoos glow bright, glowing blue. But he's definitely thrown the big uns about, and it's bad, nasty, chaotic shit.
I think I'm going to have to get my air elemental out and drown him.
Right, so top of the round, Rualin, you are up next, sir.
Right, how does this Sever Spirit thing work?
Right, you cast it.
Yeah.
You then attempt to overcome the target's power with your power. If you succeed, it dies irrevocably as you sever the spirit, the cord holding the spirit to the body.
Right, can I move and cast it?
You can at half speed, so you can move like 2.5.
I know you're a duck, too.
2, yeah, you can waddle.
Right, just because I can't say shit from here.
And it goes off instantly because it's god magic, basically, as soon as you think about it. Yeah, so you can move 2.
Right, what if
Diagonally, and then forward 1.
or if I move to there, no, I still can't. Oh, yes, I can. Right. Wait a minute.
You might not be able to see me from where you are.
Right. You might have to talk me through it because it's the first time I'll have done this, but let's have a bash at at Sever Spirit on the big chappy up there, the one who's throwing the nasty pustules about.
This would be awesome. Right, so firstly you need to make a roll on your death rune.
Right.
So, on your character sheet, on main, you go to where your power rune affinities are and click on the little crucifix.
Yes. And there should be a box somewhere, shouldn't there?
Yes.
I think if you just click on the
you click
thing
on the
that says
rune and then
death.
it pops up
right.
a box up that says modifier,
Yeah.
and then click submit. Right, right. You succeed in casting the spell. So Andy's feathers all turn. He turns inverse. That's the way he channels his magic. So like a photographic negative or a bad Star Trek effect, Andy turns it a negative, and then the Sever Spirit is basically a great black sword of god magic that comes out like a sword of
Right.
Damocles, and then you need to roll against his power and overcome his power.
Right.
So your power is
My power is. Hang on. I'm just looking for it. My power is 15, apparently.
all right. Okay, so if you click the look rune next to your power,
Oh!
right now that compares against his power.
Yeah.
So if you're even, you have a 50% chance of success, and for each point, otherwise, it's modified by 5%. So this great black sword streaks out, Andy, and then what happens?
I suppose it appears to sort of, it just, like, as the tip hits him, it's as though it's sucked into his body.
Right, he doesn't get the scream, he doesn't get the blink, he literally instantly drops dead. And with a snap of a finger, he just goes clump and falls to the ground. Doesn't twitch, it doesn't do none of that stuff. Literally, Humax has reached down with his great black sword and just snipped the silver thread that holds the body
Just
of the
like
spirit.
these, it's just like these strings have been cut.
Yeah, like literally, if you imagine like a puppet, he's just reached out with these scissors and just went snip, and it just went flop and just falls to the ground, utterly dead.
Well done.
Yes.
Thank you, chaps.
Love clap.
Right, very, very, very dead. Right, so Crodit, after seeing this awesome, unfortunately that uses all your room points up, but it was worth it. After seeing this awesome,
Which one's his round points?
Yeah,
three in the middle.
Adventure.
yeah, you can gain more room points if you sacrifice a point of power. You get a new room point, so you lose 1 point of power permanently, but you gain a room point.
So that increase your maximum. Or
Oh, what? So you can sacrifice 1 power point, so I could go down to 13 and have 4 rune points.
Yes,
Oh my god!
this is why.
Sacrifice all of them.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, you die. You got to live with your god. That's what
Okay,
happens.
all of them bar one.
no, because then someone
Everything
tries
beats
to
you in matches.
use. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so Andy's just overcome that guy's power and instantly killed him. Right, so if you had a 1 power, basically any spell that people cast at you would work almost 95% of the time.
Ah, but I'd be able to summon like 10 elementals.
Yes,
True.
but you will be dead.
It was just to know where me round points were, because I'm
on the
not sure.
character sheet. Yeah, I got you.
Whereabouts? Hang on, I can't remember myself. It seems so long since we played. God, I love it when people go Sever Spirit.
On the right hand side where it says cults, you'll have like Humact, initiate,
right.
rune points, 2/3, or whatever.
Hang on. Where it has cults, I've got a little squiggly box and nothing.
Right, okay, click on the little squiggly box. No, click on the plus sign next to cults.
Right. It says show sorcery, show old MP storage section.
Yeah, that was the wrong bit. Click that again. What you need to do is click the little plus sign where it says cults, and then it should say
Right.
cult rank room points.
Yeah.
Right, that should say Humact rank initiate room points 3/3. Although now it'll say 0/3. You do get those back, but you have to pray and worship and do like godly things. So it's like magic points you get back every day. Rune points you have to go to church and be a good boy and things like that.
Right, I'll appreciate.
Right, so after the you see this great black sword come down, Earl, and snip the life away from the big ugly little brew with the axe, and it's your turn. There's one right in front of you, and you're holding a bow.
They brought a Malian to a Humacti fight.
They did.
Always bet on black. I'll shoot the one that's...
There's one standing in melee range with you. It's going to
Oh, in melee range, or is
Yeah, he's literally standing in front of you, look.
Oh, there's a dice on top of it. Oh, right, him. Okay, hello.
He's hiding behind the dice. He's like, I am a brew, you cannot see me.
Have I got another arrow knocked ready?
Yes, you had your second shot from last turn.
Yeah,
he was still up here at that point.
All right, well, I'll shoot the brew that's on Mclovin and then get me spear and shield. So can I do me last turn shot?
Yes, that's my fault. I keep forgetting that you get your second shot. And you're shooting brew 3, who's going that left leg. Oof, you hit him in the right arm. He's not. They seem to be wearing rags of leather and queer bolly. Right, he takes an arrow to the arm. He drops his spear. He's still got his shield, but he's running very fast. And then you draw your spear and shield this turn.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he gets within melee range, I'll basically wait for him to take the step in, and then I'll jab the spear.
Right. Okay. Combat roll, please, sir.
Well, I would if I could. $12 to the 5 to the chest.
5 to chest. Let's have a look. Right. He is wearing queer bolly on that location, so he only takes a minor slash wound to the chest on that one. And that's your turn. Mclovin, you're up.
Right.
This guy is accelerating, and it looks like he's about to shoot off down the tunnel like a rocket.
Is it possible to cast mobility and then still get an attack on him from behind?
No, you can move and cast a spell, or you can attack and move, but you can't attack and cast a spell.
Right. Okay. I'll take a chance and I'll attack.
Yeah, he is within combat range. He's got his back to you and he's unaware, so you get a 20% bonus on him.
Okay.
Stab him.
Slash him. He's got an axe. You stab with an axe. It doesn't hurt very much.
Unless it's like a one with one of those points on the top, like a war hammer kind of thing. Like a war. Stabby stab.
Oof, on the left arm. And it's 9 damage.
Ouch.
Ow.
Wouldn't that be a special if you had plus 20% as well?
Yeah, probably. So that's a slash, so...
Knock one off.
I know what slash does in this, because I know I used to do like knockback. That and crush
it's double. It's roll double damage.
Really? Special. Fucking hell.
Oh no, it's a 1d6 axe, isn't it? You've got.
Mm.
Yeah, it does double damage, but the armor still works.
Ah, right. Okay.
So he does an extra.
That's really cool.
And also, if it disables an enemy, so he does an extra 2 points of damage. It disables the left arm, and he falls to the ground, and it looks he's on the verge of bleeding out.
Sweet. That's what all I wanted.
Possibly dying. Well, definitely dying. Right, he was running really fast, so his little leg's still kicking. He crashes into the wall just there. Shashalien.
Yeah, I'll cast Protection 4 on... is that Earl in front of the brood closest to me?
Yes. You'd have to take a step forward, but that's fine. So you can move 1 meter forward into that square because it's touch range, I believe, protection.
Yeah.
And then you touch Earl inappropriately somewhere on the back.
I'm in there.
So go on, roll your spirit magic roll. Which is the one down by charisma limit. All right, you succeed. Oh, you get touched from behind, and you get a nice warm feeling all over your body.
I'm not impressed.
Excuse me. All right. Always the healer. Right, dead guy is not going to do anything, and I will click the bin icon for him. Kane, you're up next, sir. You see this? You've seen Andy cast this massive black sword death spell. So it's up to you now. You've got your protection up.
I am. The only one I can see is that brew in front of Crodan, but there's 2 people behind Crodan and 1 in Crodan's square, so I can't move to it technically.
No, you could maybe shove your way past.
Javelin?
Yeah, you've got a chance of hitting Crodan, but I'm killed that.
Yeah, sounds good.
I don't mind. It's not a platform. Don't crit.
Do not impale in the head. Like that. Right, luckily you're so awful. You aim high so as not to stab Dave.
I mean,
Andy,
60%.
and Earl in the back.
Dang.
Yeah, but you aim high so as not to accidentally stab them in the back, so it goes over the top and sticks in the sand behind them.
I'll let you rephrase that. That's fine. I'll let you off.
Krish, you're up, sir. You're in combat with this brew now.
Yeah, I'm just going to swing me broadsword at him.
Right, he tries to parry with his medium shield. And he criticals. Right, he quite easily deflects your broadsword, which skitters across the surface of his shield. He grins at you and bars.
I'll fucking bar your head off in a minute.
Next up, Brew 3 is dead. Brew 2 is attacking Crodan. He's the one with Mr. Spear, so he's going to go all stabby. And fails again because,
the crap at fighting.
Brew 1. Right, he's going to stab at you with a rapier, Krish. And fails. Because
So I failed to dodge as well.
so everybody fails to do everything. Exciting combat around that. That's the end of the round. Kane, can you throw another javelin, technically?
I could do, yes. No, I cannot.
Again, you're aiming high because although as much as you would like to impale Earl through the back of the head, it would not be conducive to the combat. Right, Quactavish, you're up again, sir. It's a new round, it's a new round, it's a new day, it's a new life.
For me.
Can I get anywhere near that brew without going in the water?
It doesn't matter if you go in the water, you can run along the edge of the water without penalty because, you're a duck.
Yeah, but I wouldn't touch that
or
water.
you could-
It's diseased to shit.
Yeah, but I'm not going to catch anything if I paddle along the edge, am I?
That's true. So you're quite small, so you could squeeze along the edge of the cliff face past Crodan.
If I see what he's doing, I can move there.
Yes.
and turn the brew so he can sneak past us out?
Yeah, so,
Because we're quite close to each other initiative-wise.
yes.
Yeah, and then I shall have a go at that bro with me fireblade.
Of course, the fire blade. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Something's coming off.
Ooh. Oh, cut him in half.
It's only 8 damage. He rolled 2 1s and a 6.
Yep, shocking.
It does hurt the brew, though. The pool blighter.
That seven spirit does not take it out of a bloke.
That's the only problem with things like Fireblade.
I'll take a step this way and stab him.
Right, Andy has wounded him across the thigh. Go ahead, Al. You take a
Oh. 9 to the right leg.
stab. Right, he's going to try and parry you because he didn't see the duck coming, even with its enormous, massive flaming sword.
Nobody says the duck coming.
Nobody says the duck coming.
Is it a duck or is it a chicken?
I'll confuse him with a duck, but he looks like a chicken. Mm.
It succeeds and deflects your puny blow, Al.
It's alright, I did what I was trying to do. Open the path. So I know exactly what's stepping into that space in a second.
Mclovin, you're up, sir.
Right. How many spaces can I move and still engage?
4, half your movement.
Okay, and in that case, well, I'm not going to make it. In that case, I'll do 1, 2,
You've got missile weapons, haven't you?
3. Yeah, but I'm shite at it.
Yeah, but you're
only
not going
way
to
you
get
get
better unless you try them. Plus, you might hit Earl or Chris or something. It'd be hilarious.
Hilarious.
No, I'll move to there. I'll run to there, so I'm directly behind them. Ready for next turn.
Right. Shashalian,
Otherwise, I'll have to drop my axe.
you're up, sir.
Can I move forward and hit with my sword?
You can. You have true sword up, isn't that right?
I didn't go off.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Because that makes your sword do double damage. Yeah, go ahead, take a swing. What kind of sword is it?
Broadsword.
All the humanities that used to come from RuneQuest 2nd Edition and go, where's me bastard swords? Where's me bastard swords? Right, this poor beleaguered brew, go ahead, give it a roll.
I'm trying to find my weapon thing.
Right, you succeed, so yeah, I'll set your macros up properly. After this, you do a D8 plus 1, and have you got
I've got a 1d4 plus 1 as well because
you got a D4, so that's 11 damage on the left leg. Right, its leg gives out from under it, and it collapses down to one knee, steadying itself with its shield arm. It's 11. It's looking incredibly badly off.
Right, 25, 9, more, 3, head now.
Next up, we have Canesaw.
Right. 3rd time's the charm, okay?
I don't have nightmare.
3rd time
You
it's
can't
the
do
charm.
it.
No, I can't.
No. He's just standing back, flinging javelins over people's heads. All right. Well, we appreciate the effort anyway. If nothing else, you're keeping their heads down.
Exactly. Gotta get me scope somewhere.
Chris, you're up.
At the end of the fight, there's like about 6 bloody flies pale on top.
Gonna swing me sword down on this one again.
It damaged to the right leg.
Drop his leg off. It's not his head, but the start.
Oh, fumble. Okay, so shield strap breaks. So you take a swing at him, he gets his shield underneath it, but he's let the inside of the shield outwards. So you cleanly slash through the shield straps and then into his right leg, which does 8 damage and drops him to one leg.
And I'm just gonna grin at him and smile and laugh, and then go ah.
Right. And it's his turn to try and retaliate, but he is on the floor.
Not so funny now, is it, Mr. Sheep Man?
It's certainly not, so he's at a penalty for that. So he takes a wild stab, succeeds, stabs you in the balls as he's underneath you.
Oh, fuck.
You fail your parry. How much armor you got in the abdomen?
Hang on.
Even at minus 20%, he takes a wild stab upwards, gets you right in the nuts.
Abdomen. Abdomen, I've got 3 armor.
Right, so you take 8 points to the abdomen. How many hit points have you got in the abdomen?
Got 19. On 11.
Not in the abdomen, you haven't. If you look, scroll up to
Oh,
where
hang on. Did you chop my knob off?
it hasn't chopped your knob off. How many have you got in the abdomen?
7.
Right, so Chris laughs in this goat's face, overextends himself, looks humorous. The goat squeaks up with his bronze rapier, stabs him right in the knackers. Chris's legs both give out from under him, and he collapses to the floor. Yeah, he hasn't chopped your knob off yet. He would have to do about 21 damage to chop your knob off in one stab.
Falls over the cry of "Avenge me!"
Chris's eyes go crossed, and he makes that "ooh" face as he collapses to the floor. Excellent. Next up, we have Brew 1, who's in a very bad state, isn't he? And he's trying to fend Earl off with a spear. He takes a wild, possibly final swing at you with his spear, Earl, and succeeds.
Oof, parry that.
Oh, right. Almost fumbling, Craven fails, takes 7 to the right arm.
-4.
Yeah, -4 for the protection, -2 for Godskin.
I've got 5 in that arm on top of the 4, so it's 9. So
yeah, so you kind of penetrate me with your puny spear.
I'll look at Rualin and go and help the Krish lad. I've got this ugly fecker.
I've been stabbed in the knackers.
Where is it? Oh, hang on. Wait a minute.
I'll point my spear. He's over that way.
Yeah, he points to the north and the west, Andy, round the corner. And in fact, right. Andy, you're up next.
Right. Well, I shall presumably move up this way.
Yeah, head north.
Oh, wait a minute. 5. That puts me there, I think. Wait a minute. 1. Wait a minute. 3, 4. 5 would put me there, I think. If I've done that right.
If you start, you can get forward and still attack if you're standing to the right of Krish.
Yes, I say so.
Andy moves slower than humans on land.
Oh,
quicker on water, so he can get there. So he can defend, but he can't attack this turn.
All right.
Right.
So, Chris, the psycho duck with the big flaming sword comes running over to you.
Quick, put it on me balls. What's the wound?
Want me to cauterize that for you?
I'm waiting for after combat. Somebody heal my nuts. Everyone goes, "Are you touching that fucker?"
I mean, I'm GM and I wouldn't want my nuts cauterized with a fire blade. To be fair,
I agree. It's probably low on my level of thing.
Where's your sense of adventure?
All right.
There's a smell of burning pubes. Ew.
Oh God! Not a smell anyone enjoys.
Crodan,
be honest.
Crodan, you're up.
I'll stab the little sod in front of him.
Okay, he's on the ground. He wildly swings his shield and misses badly. You hit him in the abdomen, and he collapses to the ground and bleeds. He bleeds once and then bleeds out.
Quickly withdraw my spear and start moving up to help you.
Yeah.
The rest of them still
Mclovin.
fighting, or?
That one's dead. He'd be dead. Next up is Mclovin.
Attack!
You get 20% bonus. So if you open your weapon thing and on the main page and scroll down, yeah,
Hang on. Main.
to weapons.
Yeah, weapons. Small axe, 100 axe.
Yeah. If you look along, it says mod just before the roll button thing.
Yep,
If you
20%.
20% in there, it'll add it in.
Okay.
It's a learning process. We've only been playing a year. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Right. Because the brew is facing Krish, as he senses the fact that he may actually take him out, he can't defend, so Mclovin brings his axe down on his right leg, and due to shock and blood loss, manages to -6, puts the brew all the way down, so he's alive, but he's lying on his belly now. Right next to where Andy is, so that looks unfortunate, doesn't it?
Whoops!
Shashalian, the one that you were fighting with Croden, has died.
I'll move forward then. I'll got up to 8 movement points, haven't I?
You've got a move of 8, yes. If you move up to 4, you can act, such as casting spells, attacking. If you do more than 4, then you can't do it for the rest of the round.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, you come and see this brew lying face down on the ground, bleeding from several wounds. Kane, you're up, sir.
I can't see anyone else, so I'm going to move up and around the corner.
And just casually retrieve all of your javelins.
Yeah. One, two, three, because it was diagonal. 4. There we go.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll, pick up some javelins.
Right.
3 combat rounds later.
Yeah, Kid just picks up. Right, Krish, I need you to make a con ×5 roll because you're in shock and you may be bleeding out.
How do I do that?
On your couch sheet next to con. Yeah, you take it, you're hard as nails. So you can act this turn. The brew is lying face down on the ground. He's not dead, but he's in an incredibly bad way.
Can I stab him in the balls in revenge?
You can. That's a cold shot. So that's a half chance, but you can go for his balls if you want.
I'm alright. Is he incapacitated enough that I can leave him and he won't get up again?
No, not yet, but he's in a bad way. Mclovin came up behind him and knocked him to the ground basically by savaging his leg with his little axe. If it's a little axe. Oh, bless, he has a little axe.
I think I'll try and keep this one alive because is there another one that I can kill?
No, this is the last one.
It's
well,
the
fuck it off.
chaos. We don't do prisoners when it comes to chaos.
Yeah, brewer generally not.
There you go.
Oh.
All right. Obviously, you're rattled by the fact that your bollocks are hanging out of your trouser leg. And you flail wildly about you, but you fail to do anything important or damaging. Which leads us to the top of the round. And Rualin, who is standing over a prone brew with a fire blade in hand.
Yeah, and I shall try hitting said bro, said fireblade.
Teabag him.
Oh, you really don't want to do that, eh?
Yeah.
Right. The brew expires as Andy's red hot blade slices through its arm like butter and it chops the arm off. You all need to get some fireblade action on the go. So that is 17 damage, -3 to that, and he makes that 14 damage. Right, so he's on -8 hit points, so he's pretty dead.
Say, I cauterized his arm.
Yeah, next one.
And he didn't complain.
No, he never said a word.
Well, ergo, if that's a word.
Right, so what I need now is right. Can everybody that was involved in melee please make me a con times 5 roll?
What do you want us to do?
Con times 5 roll, especially you who got stabbed in the bollocks and is lying on the ground going, I me bollocks, I me bollocks.
Con times 5. Now, hang on, is that the first one or the second one?
That's the first one. The second one is a modifier, so if I ask for a...
Right, yes,
I'd
that's
say
right.
a con times 3,
Yeah,
then you... God
Yeah,
damn,
not a
you're all so
problem.
healthy.
Davey really made it.
You're all so really healthy. You don't feel any ill effects. You certainly haven't caught anything so far.
Davey flicks his hair back like he's in a fucking Timothy advert. Ching! Yeah.
Right. So now that you've finally vanquished the opening room, what do you want to do? It's traditional for everybody to train their first aid on the downed people. I'll help.
Can someone come and try and sort out my cock?
I'll
I'll
sort
give
you
you a
out.
hand.
Having never fought chaos before in this game, are we probably not,
No, we're not.
not searching
No,
the bodies?
we're-
No. Okay.
No, we're staying away from the bodies. They're giant piles of disease.
How much do I heal him with a successful first aid roll?
On a normal success 1d3.
I'll put 2 points of healing into Mount Me Belt.
Right,
Go on, grab his sausage.
So, Chris, the humanity comes over and deftly grabbing you in the abdomen.
He's lying there going, careful.
Does
He
some,
sticks his hand down your pants.
yeah, he sticks down your pants and does some secret humanity first aiding.
How many points do I gain? 3?
3 back from that initially, yeah.
And I'll shove another 2 in you.
11.
But I'll apply Vaseline first. I've got some right next to me.
I'm back on 17.
Right, so your legs and your tallywhack is all working again. It's a bit tender, and because it's not, you haven't used God Magic, you have got a nasty scar, so that's something to remember it by.
That's all right. I'll live.
Aye, but your knackers will look like stewed plums.
So I'll just have to deal with that in the dark, eh?
Right, so you're on this beach. The river is roaring. There's also that kind of mist of the water above the water, so that's filling the place. So it's kind of hard to see. And there's a tunnel off to the left that brew was trying to make for. You can see just his legs sticking out from around the corner where he crashed into the wall. Bracy up the river. The river looks really deep and very, very swift. He said from that left-hand fork, he'd caught a glimpse of a bridge with a spot hidden roll.
Okay.
Right at the top of that, it seemed to be glowing with some kind of fungus, some bioluminescence. So there's the 2 forks of the river. There's a tunnel apparently leading to the west. Or you could try jumping in the river and swimming up.
I don't think I'll be jumping in that. Right. Well, obviously, if he's gone off to the west, there's going to be more brew up that way. Can I move up and have a peek up the corridor?
Of course you can. So you move up to there, and you can see the corridors winding and heads to the west.
Oh.
Right, can everybody make me a spot hidden roll, please?
Spot hidden.
That just spot
Yeah.
scan.
Scan, sorry. I'm thinking RuneQuest 2, man.
You'll never get out of that, mate. Trust me.
Success. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Which probably means it's there. We just haven't noticed it.
We haven't seen it yet. So Mclovin moves up the edge of the tunnels and goes, there's a tunnel up here where I fought this brew, lads. So you can move sort of into the centre of the room now. Chris vigorously rubbing at his damaged testicles.
I feel a bit better now.
Yeah. Once Ryan gets his hand down your pants, you feel much better.
I'll keep my ball strong.
Just going to say, Crawdan, stick your head around that corner where the river is and see if you can see anything.
All right.
If you don't mind, mate.
Yeah, that's as far as you can get. Can you? No, you can't. The river's too close to the cave wall at this point. You can't see anything further up the river.
I'll head over here, and I'll start sneaking.
Okay. Crawdan moves to the tunnel. Does everybody follow him?
Just hang back a second. I'll whistle. I'll shout if I'm in trouble. I've made me sneak roll. I'm gonna carefully scan the area, and I'll listen.
He's like, I'll make the ancient bird call of, yeah, fucking bastards, if I'm getting attacked.
Right. I don't see.
Am I correct in thinking, Earl, that you can dimly see everything that you've seen previously, but you can only see the bit that's in the light well?
Yes.
Excellent. That means it's remembering the map. So that you know what the cave looks like, but you're only actually seeing. Right, as you walk up the tunnel, the ground gets more firm and stony. There's no noises that you can hear. And then the tunnel turns north.
I'll stop and take time to check for tracks. See if this is a busy thoroughfare.
Right, okay, goes to tracking roll.
Made it.
Right. The ground is quite hard, but there are evidence. There's little bits of wool snagged on the cave wall. There's lots and lots of feces everywhere, and there's tracks in the feces, so it is obviously quite a heavy thoroughfare. Right, that's a cave wall. You can't go any further off that way. It's just the way the map's drawn. Stop. Make a spot. Make a scan roll.
Yep, made it.
Right. Just at the last second, you put your foot down, and a piece of canvas tarpaulin, camouflaged to look exactly like the floor. You feel your foot go forward. And you notice that this canvas tarpaulin is camouflaged under all of the dung that's lying about and things like that.
Yeah.
So you narrowly avoid falling forward into something.
Right, I'll draw an arrow out my quiver and mark the floor.
Right, okay. This is where Brissy fumbles and goes, oh, this arrow means walk this way.
Can I work my way around it safely? I'll take time to work out where the edge.
It's almost the full width of the cave, but on the left-hand side, there's a narrow walkway around there. You can go around that way and then across to the right.
Take it nice and easy.
Right.
I'll stop and listen.
Right, go on, make a listen more. It's a normal success. You can't hear anything except the roaring of the water. It is muted because you're behind quite a lot of rock, but you can hear it. Right, while Lil's walking up the corridor here, what are you people doing at the bottom end? Are you moving to the corridor? Are you moving?
Yeah, I was going to give it about
about?
10 seconds, and then I was going to follow Earl.
Right, okay. You start moving up the corridor. What about the rest of you peeps?
I'll follow.
Likewise.
Wow, my whole
Yeah, I'll
blinked
follow.
there. Right, so you all start moving up the corridor behind Earl. Kane's clanking quite a bit, as is Krish, but that's pretty much drowned out.
I'll try and move silently.
Pretty much drowned out by the river. It's probably fortunately because there was quite a lot of backwards and forwards, cling clang, cling clang. Not the dead, but the rest of the combat. Right, so as you round this corner up to the north, Bracy, it opens into a chamber. There's an arrow on the floor pointing to the square in the centre.
Right.
There's an arrow there pointing north.
Okay. I will have a scan to see if I can see anything dodgy.
Go on then.
Yep.
Right, yeah, you do notice it seems to be pointing to a covered pit. The floor and that's covered with dung and rubbish, bits of wood.
Right.
Things like that.
I will pass this information back to the rest of the lads.
Okay. Oh, so they're coming up behind you. So you continue down.
Yeah.
Down the corridor. Right, you come to a stone bridge. As with the tunnel, the bridge is man-made. It looks weak, though, as if it would break at any moment. It's covered in moss, and it's slick with water. Slimy fine moss grows everywhere on the bridge, and the first side of the meter of stone to either side of the bridge and along the tunnel. There are no railings, but you can see, you may be able to see it, the glow of a light from the other side of the bridge. Yeah. It looks like the glow of a campfire. Right. So, Bracey, you carefully move around the tunnel. And
I'm going to wait.
You're going to wait there. Right. So, Kane is coming up the tunnel, or are you just standing there?
Yeah. No, I'm coming with you. It's just my Roll20 is like lagging.
Yeah, it's lagging really badly. I had to completely reload it.
I tried that mid encounter before, and it was just didn't do it.
Right, so you arrive at the stone bridge. It's the one that's slightly glowing. The Bracey had described to you because he made an awesome scan roll, and it's got bioluminescence algae hanging all over it. Right, once you move into the same square, you should be able to see, as Crodan, there's across the bridge, there's another opening in the cave wall, and you can see a soft glow of a campfire. The water is very intense here. The noise is very, very loud.
Right, I will, once everyone's caught up, I will carefully cross the bridge, but I'll check around, I'll scan, I'll literally stand there, and while I'm waiting for them to catch up, I'll walk across the bridge with my eyes every inch. Do you know what I mean? Literally stare.
Right, okay. You walk across the bridge. It's literally like walking on the slickest ice you've ever walked upon. Can you please make me a Dex ×3 roll? You know when your car slips on black ice and it literally feels like you've got zero friction. You get halfway across the bridge.
Well, that's not good.
That is not good. Right. You get halfway across. Your left foot slips out from under you, and you do that thing where your feet start madly going, trying to keep your balance.
I'll jump onto the other side.
Okay. Make a jump roll.
Is it a plain bridge, or is it a bridge with like side bits up the side?
No, there's no side bits. It's just an arched stone bridge. Jump, jump, jump.
I should really channel my air room to do this, but I'm just going to...
But you're not going to.
Oh, I failed.
Right. You
should have channeled my air room, or would have made it.
You leap majestically into the air like a swan, but just as you're powering off with your second foot, that slips away from under you, and Crodan, you see Crodan disappear over the bridge and land splash in the water.
I'll try and grab the edge of the bridge.
I've not seen a swan jump.
That's kind of the point.
Aerodynamic as a brick.
Right, Crodan goes, didn't you have your board run? So flailing, he crashes off the edge of the bridge. You're going to need a Dex ×1 roll because it's incredibly slippy. And the water is surprisingly warm, as if a giant has been weeing in the baths and you're standing right next to him. It's got that weird, warm, chlorine taste to it.
Oh, I'm not touching the water. Oh,
And Crodan died because he drowned in some kind of disgusting wee.
it won't be the first time. Just be the first time in a roleplay game.
God.
AFK for like 1 minute, guys.
Right, no problem. Right, Mclovin, you're next. You see Earl carefully cross the bridge. His foot starts to go. He tries to jump. His back foot slips
as he starts,
and he plummets over the side of the water. And
as he starts slipping, have I got a chance to leap out and grab him?
So you want to run out onto the slippery bridge and grab him? Right, go on, make a Dex ×3 roll.
See you later.
I love it. Go on.
Oh, shite.
97. Right, you run out and you're convinced you're going to catch him. You reach out with your arm. You just miss him as he disappears over the side of the bridge. You lean forward. Your legs go out from behind you. And you tumble forward into the water as well with a splash.
Oh well. Never mind. Oh, shite bags.
Right.
Sorry, Earl.
Krish, you witnessed these two idiots disappearing off the edge of the slippery bridge.
Okay. Have I got rope on me?
You have got rope on you.
I tie it to my broadsword and try and chuck it across to the other side so that it stabs into the ground. Likely to work?
As you can see by the floor is more rock at this point.
Okay, that's not going to work then.
So it's not going to stick
Thinking
on.
of using it as some sort of like weird grapple.
It was worth a shot. So Shash, you're standing behind Krish, and as is Andy, the only amphibious gentleman in the team, and you watch these two idiots just like flailing about, arms like literally going in all directions, legs going in all directions.
I think the best way for me to do it is to get down on my belly and go across more surface area.
That is an excellent idea. So you only have to roll a Dex ×5 roll as you carefully crawl across the bridge.
How do I do a Dex ×5?
It's next to your Dex, the first rune.
Just click that one. Fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ. Right.
Even on my belly.
Right. So it's like slick ice. You crawl out, and then
just slide off the side.
Slide off the side. You can have a because you're on your belly, you can have a power ×2 roll to see if you can grab onto something on the way past.
Power ×2, take it. I'll just press the power button, yeah?
If you click the one right where it says power, there's the first rune. If you click the second rune,
and then ×2, yeah?
Yeah, and then multiplier 2, and then submit.
It doesn't come up with a box. What the hell?
It might be behind your character sheet.
There it is.
Right, so you are hanging halfway off, right? Earl and Mclovin are being swept downstream in this surprisingly warm and fast flowing, and you are kind of hanging halfway off like that.
Can I rope to Grace's character?
I was just going to say, I've got a rope in me pack. Why don't we both grab hold of the rope and chuck it to them and see if we can pull them back in?
Aye.
Okay, I'll let you have a go. So you step forward to the edge. You can't get the rope next to them unless you jump onto the slippery bridge, Dave.
Oh, I know what I should have done. I'm just going to shout back to the rest of the lads that they're still not on the bridge and falling in the water. One of them to tie a rope around their waist, and then at least if they do slip, they're not going to fall in the drink.
That is a great idea. Like 5 minutes ago, that would have been a game winner. Right.
Well, I'll tie a rope round Andy's character's waist because he's lighter than me.
This is true.
Are you
It's
going
all Earl's fault.
to
He
toss the
can swim
duck?
better than me as well.
Are you going to toss the duck? Right, Krish has slipped off the bridge, but because he was on all fours, he was like sort of doing a doggy paddle across the bridge, and he just sort of slowly slid to one side. And the more he tried to stop himself, the more he slowly slid to one side. His legs are off the side of the bridge, and he's just managed to dig his fingernails into a crack. And he's sort of looking at you imploringly, Dave, as his legs dangle over the side of the bridge above the water.
It's all right. Leave this to me.
Chuck a rope round your waist before you come out.
Right. Kian, are you following up on this to watch this?
Yeah, it's
insanity?
just I'm fine. I literally couldn't find where you guys went on the map because it's lagging so hard.
I've
so
moved you up just in case. Right. So as
Right. Dave's tied a rope round my waist.
right,
You know.
as you do this, Earl and Brissy. Sorry.
So, all right. I'll go on.
Right. It's very fast. Brissy, Earl, can you make swim rolls to try and fight against the current before you start up?
Dope.
I do think my dad's AFK currently.
Yeah.
Nothing too.
Actually, well, if the river's falling us down, I don't think I'm that bothered with actually swimming against it. As long as we get to one of the sides, I'm not bothered.
Unless you drown first.
Well, you will. Yeah, there is that.
Right, so you failed your swim roll, so you go disappearing down. If Earl fails his swim roll, you're going to be out of range. Right. Madly, Bracey swims like his life depends upon it, trying to fight against the current. He looks you in the eye, Dave, as you just get the rope ready, and then he goes, and disappears off around the corner. Chris is like, hello, still hanging off the bridge by my fingertips.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. Right. Dave's tied his rope round me.
Yes.
I've got my rope out of me pack. Now, you know the stones of this bridge, are there, like, cracks in between them?
There are.
Right.
It looks a bit like, because from the picture I've got, it looks a bit like a cobblestoned bridge, but it's all slick with this bioluminescent fungi.
Right. Well, with a bit of luck, this will work. If I get down on me hands and knees and inch me way across, and you know those iron spikes and the 3-pound lump hammer I handily bought back in Pavis?
Yes, I do remember those.
Yes. I shall bray them into the cracks periodically in between the stones and loop me rope round it, so it's like a...
like climbing a mountain, but flat.
Yeah.
Yes. Until I can get out the Krish and help him back onto the bridge. And then I shall continue across the bridge, the idea being that if everybody gets down the hands and knees, they can follow me rope.
That is a good plan. You only have to make a Dex times 5 roll because you have webbed feet.
Right.
How the hell did the brew get across them?
I presume they didn't come this way.
Probably leap.
Is there anything in the ceiling that you
if they
could...
fall.
Is there anything in the ceiling that could have connected something to?
Oh, hang on. Have I clicked the right? Yeah, the first one's
Yeah, you
times
have.
5, isn't it?
It is, yes. So Rualin's like, I'm all right, gets forward, but as he steps onto the bridge, he's slowly, because he's not into the middle of the bridge yet, because he was only moving, he's slowly spinning on the spot, just slowly winding the rope round him, like a yo-yo, and the more he tries to kick his feet the other way, the faster he's spinning round and round. Earl, you need to make a swim roll to try and fight against the current. Bracey's just sort of, his head's gone under and he's disappeared.
That's never good.
He's dissipated in the water and this is an insanely slippy bridge, like, I must admit. It's great fun, but it's insanely slippy.
Yeah, swimming's easy.
Right, so Earl fights against the current and manages to stay above water so that he stays in that square, but poor Bracey has disappeared off into the tunnel. So what is the plan now? As Chris hangs on for dear life by his fingertips, and Andy slowly winds the rope around himself like a yo-yo.
Well, hopefully, Shash, if you just pull the rope a little bit, very gently, just enough to stop me spinning round like a bleeding
Will do.
tar, and then presuming Dave can arrest my sort of circular motion, any way I can use me fire blade to burn this bloody slippery gunk off the bridge.
You certainly could, but it would be like using a blowtorch on like algae, so it would like you'd be running up and down, and it would take it off in small patches, but it would take a long time to burn it all off.
Well, would there be enough? Would there be enough to make a very narrow path that we could just walk across? Not the whole bridge, just enough.
If you make a power times 5 roll, you are lucky enough to actually burn enough of the algae away to make a slim path where you've got decent footing. It's right next to Chris's fingers. You're like, hold tight, Chris, as you're waving the fire blade backwards and forwards in front of his fingers.
Fucking crazy bastard.
There you go.
Right, so Rualin starts to burn away the algae so that you've got something to stand on, which is good. So he stops rotating slowly.
But you take 66 damage. To the fingies.
To the fingers. Oh, sausage! Right, poor Chris is hanging on. Are you going to try and climb up by yourself, or yeah? Prissy, can you make another drowning roll, please?
I'm
Drown.
trying to
So what's that? Dex or?
Swimming.
I'm trying to push it up.
Me swimming. I'm swimming.
No. Mclovin's trying to not drown.
Oh!
Right.
Was that the noise you made as you went under for the second time?
Yeah.
Yep.
He comes up briefly, flashes his arms about, coughs up a great lung full of water, and then swallows another lungful. And then Brissy, you impact just about here. You manage to just, because the current sweeps you past the sandbank, you manage to just get yourself onto here, coughing. You lie there coughing up water, and
You're not going to be well.
I'm not going to be well.
not at all. Right, so temporarily Croden's here. Are you trying to throw him a rope?
Yeah.
Right. So you're burning. You're trying to burn the algae.
Yes.
Shashalian has the rope tied. Are you holding the rope, or is it tied around your waist?
Shash has got a rope tied around my waist, and it's his job to stop me falling off the bridge.
Right. So
while
he's
I
just
try-
standing there, so your hands are free, so you can throw another rope to Earl, or Kane can try and throw a rope to Earl.
I can throw a rope. I have
Go
rope.
on. Fumble. You have loads of rope. You've got tons of rope. Fumble. A timey grapple at the end and clunk
Where the
Earl right on the head.
Where is throw again? Or is it just a...
Under manipulation.
Tie the rope round the
Is
donkey and throw it down the pit.
I don't have throw under manipulation.
You might not have. I will just double check.
You went to stab school, not throw school.
No, you should have.
Man, I just had that. Okay.
There you go.
Sweet.
Now you've got throw skill.
Throw time.
Oh, he succeeds. Right, Earl, you're madly like doggy paddling, and just keeping the current at bay. This rope comes and lands and like flows right next to you. You manage to grab it.
I will hang on for dear life. I'll wrap it around my wrist.
Right, you wrap the rope around your wrist. Kane, go on, make a strength roll, please. As you heave.
Is it just strength times 5? Or...
Yeah, strength times 5 against your size and encumbrance, Larry. Look at
Size of
that
15.
with great. Yeah. So he's got. What's your strength? It's something insane, isn't it?
It's only 18.
Yeah, so with great.
An ink of 10.
Bulging throws, you manage to hold Earl steady, so he's not going to go any further down the river. But you haven't managed to pull him out yet.
Okay. Well, at least we've stopped him from, swimming to China or whatever.
Right, Bracing, you roll over onto the sand, coughing up this thing. He's spitting out a turd and that kind of thing.
Thank you.
Can you make me a power times 5 roll?
Oh, special.
Right, so you roll over and your hand comes on something metal that's stuck into the sand.
Mm-hmm. Can I have a scan roll to see what it is?
Well, you're lying there face down and you look at your hands touching it. It looks like some kind of sword hilt is stuck into the ground with a gem in the end of it.
Oh. All right. I will gather my breath and I will try and dig it out.
Right, you pull it out, and it's a scimitar, a beautifully designed scimitar with fantastic engraving. The edge looks incredible. And there's some kind of inscription on the pommel. And the gem on the end has a rune in it, which would indicate it's some kind of spell matrix.
Ooh, do I recognise the language?
I don't think you do. Because I think you only speak Sartarite.
Okay, well, I will stuff it in my backpack. Or, store it so it won't get swept away. And then what I'll do is I will move down the bank to this.
If you move to there, you can either try and swim across, or that's small enough that's where you jump across with a jump roll.
Mm-hmm. I will try jumping across.
It's like, oh no, we've lost Bracy. Bracy comes up here and he's like, all right, lads, woo.
Yeah. Where you been? Go!
God, the justice is so good.
Right, you leap majestically, you land the other side, but on the water, not on the sand, and you sink up to your knees in the water, in the water and the sand.
It's not that deep here, is it?
It is quite deep, but it's only like a metre wide, so it's really strong. Your feet, you sank in the sand up to your knees.
All right, I'll just try and get myself free and get myself on the bank.
Right. Right, back to the rescue operation. So, Dave, what we're going to do? Poor Chris is still hanging by his fingernails. Croden's hanging onto the rope. Rualin has stopped spinning slowly. All you needed was like a little music box thing to go ding 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 ding.
I thought McTavish had burned the path with his flame.
Yeah, but yes, but it's going to take a while. He's like basically started at his feet and he's slowly burning away the algae with a flame blade.
Well, I can't do anything while I'm holding the rope.
I believe you had the rope tied round you. You can assist in pulling Crowdang up with Kane while having Andy tied to your waist. That seems
I'll do
safe.
that then.
I agree. That seems perfectly safe. Everybody agree?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not terribly, no, but never
Why
mind.
not?
Right, so add your strength and Kane's strength together. What's your strength, Dave? Does anybody know what Dave's strength is?
Not a clue.
14.
And Kane's is 19, 20? Something?
Sorry, I was going to ask something.
What's that? Go ahead.
No, but I was getting asked something in real life. I just didn't know what you said.
All
What did you say?
right. So Dave has basically turned his back on Andy because Andy is tied to Dave and helped grab the rope with you. So you're both trying to pull Cronan up.
Right, okay, and you wanted to know
Your strength because you're going to do
18.
a combined. So that is 32. Yes. 32 against Earl's size and encumbrance. Just give me a roll. Earl's size is, let's have a look, I've got my little sheet.
16.
Yeah.
Me encumbrance 10.
So 32 versus 26. Yeah, that's enough. So, right, Earl, you're slowly dragged across here and up here past McTavish, who narrowly misses you with his flame blade.
Christ, on a bike.
You're dragged coughing and spluttering back onto the safe part of the bridge. Andy, you've moved
doing that
forward.
again.
You've burnt enough now to get next to Krish. So
Right.
you can grab him and give him a hand up.
Right. I
Who's a
shall grab
fucking
him and-
chicken now?
Just with my legs dangling off the side, I'm just gonna blow. Bark, 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 bark. Come here, chicken.
Right, I'll leave him dangling. And
Don't leave me hanging, dude.
I am the bigger duck.
Andy, just show your flame sword and go, Kentucky Fried McBullocks?
Right, so do you attempt to do you help Krish back to the bridge?
Yeah, I will do.
Begrudgingly. Right, so you get out on the bridge. Andy's burnt a narrow path across the bridge now, but his flame blade goes out. As it is wont to do, unfortunately.
Well, I knew it wasn't going to last forever.
If only.
And Brissy is lost to the sands of time. Or rather,
I liked him.
we lose more RuneQuest characters by drowning than anything else.
This is alarmingly true. In my years of GM in RuneQuest, I've drowned more people than I've stabbed.
Right, so you do notice across the bridge, you can see across the bridge, that it opens into another cavern. And you can see there's actually light coming through it. From when you look north, Andy, you can see that that's a blank cavern wall, and that's obviously the source of the river, because the river's like frothing and foaming and coming up from underneath the mountain. Up that way
Right.
somewhere. So that is clean water that's coming up from that point.
It just gets filthier further down.
Yes.
Right. Those are 1 metre squares, aren't they?
They are, yes. Luckily, like I said, this is extremely noisy because the racket you've made between the four of you has been quite loud.
Well, what I was going to ask was, from where I am there, can I jump the rest of the way?
Yes.
Right. So that would ideally put me there.
Yes.
And then the idea would be to move to there to leave the way clear for everybody else.
Yeah, that is a good plan.
I will worm across.
Right, well, Andy has a rope tied to him between Andy and Davey.
Oh,
Which
I'll
kind
use
of
the rope
looks
to
like
help
this. There's a rope stretching between Andy and Davey.
And there's also, apart from that last metre of the bridge, there's iron spikes knocked in with a rope looped round them. So if you're going to slip, you've got something to grab.
I will literally lie down, belly face on the bridge, and drag myself along by the
iron spikes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You managed to drag yourself across this time without any problems. Bracy, can you make me a? I would say a luck roll. Give us a power times 5.
Okay, hang on. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Are you sure you don't want to re-roll that? Because we're almost finished for the night.
Yeah, I'll re-roll it. I haven't got my re-roll rune though. But
everybody should have had one. That's my fault.
Well, that's a point. He got washed down the way we came. Did he say he saw this bridge from down there?
Yes.
Right. Instead of going across, can I run back down, avoiding the trap?
You can, yes.
I will do that.
Right. So you run back down. Anybody else, or are you all just? You run back down. And you see Bracy stuck up to his knees in the sand at the edge of the river. He has a strange scimitar poking out from the top of his backpack.
Can't leave you alone for 2 minutes.
A dirty, filthy lunar weapon, if ever I saw one.
I'll go and drag him out the water.
Right. He comes over, and with Earl's help, Bracy, he drags you out of the
cheers.
The sand at the edge.
Now, not being a regular Runequest thing, is it worth me run outside and go to the shaman and tell them that I've just swallowed a shitload of shitty water, and can they do anything about it, or just wait for now?
I would just get on with it, and we'll see him for a Q roll at the end. Hopefully.
All right.
Although something could drop off you.
You will notice when you've caught something and you have those 5 powders.
Yeah.
To cure. Who's carrying them? I'm assuming they'll be in a waxed pouch or an animal bladder or something that's waterproof, so that you don't.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'll just sort of check. Right. Okay, then we'll head back up to where the party is when I get my breath back.
Right, so you both head up. Earl goes, what's the trap? As you almost walk straight into the trap again.
No, I noticed the big arrow, so I put it there for when I forgot about it.
Right, and you get to the bridge. So you can cross the bridge reasonably safely now.
I will slowly cross the bridge, lying down, tucking myself as I go. Nowhere to.
But you're all right, because apart from that last 1 metre, there's a little path where I've burnt the algae off.
Yes, you can walk on that little path. It's usually fireblade to melt it all off, and it's blackened and burnt along one path around the centre. Right, so you come across there, Andy. You can see firelight coming from that cavern, and if you make me a listen roll, please.
A listen. Yes, I can do that. Yep.
You can. Don't forget to take all the skills that you succeed or fumble at. Right, you can definitely hear movement coming from that cavern around the corner. It's only because you're literally at the headwaters of the bridge. To be honest, to talk to each other, you almost have to shout because it's roaring. So otherwise, you would have definitely alerted them.
Bracy, Woolly Pete.
I don't suppose I can estimate how many there might be. Is it multiple?
It's more than one, definitely, because you can hear them talking to each other in their horrible, chaotic, bleaty language.
Right, now how do you communicate? You hold up all the feathers on one hand.
So, do you want... I think we should get across the bridge, and then we'll call it there, ready for next time. Because there's something in the next room.
Right.
Because it's 20 past 10 now. Obviously, it's starting to get a bit late.
Cool.
Right,
we should do a burst in and fire thing where we all like dive round the corner like Charlie's Angels. They'll never expect. You are crouched down in the middle, and then like Bracy can be on one side, and Crash can be on the other, and just pause as a pointing the weapons.
Yeah, just...
in silhouette. Obviously, we'll have someone light a light behind us to silhouette us, and they'll be all so surprised that they won't notice the humanity charging up with a true sword. All my plans are best plans.
Or several humanity
I'll
charges.
I'll full automatic with my throwing daggers, miss every time, and have a nice outline of some brew, frozen and fake.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Right, so you're going to get across the bridge. You can get across reasonably safely now. So what order are you going to be standing on the other side? Because
I'm not going
Rualin,
first.
Rualin, who moves to the side there and goes, go on, I'll let you past.
Yeah.
Well, I'll stand to the side because I intend to shoot arrows a little bit before I start.
It's kind of narrow, so Shashalian wants to go first, is that right?
Yeah, why not?
Because I'm going to need time to try and light my sword again.
Yeah. So you'll have to try and move over.
Well, I think we should stick the big lads up front.
Right, that's as far as you need to go there, Dave, because as soon as you burst into the room, there's definitely some other things in there.
Well, what I can do is I could go up first. Me and Brazy can go up and sow a bit of confusion, then use lot charge in, which seems to work quite well. Just a note, when you're not sure what's on the end of a brush and you decide that the best way to make it point is to lick it, make sure you didn't forget that you soaped the brush up and left it in brush.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I am confused. I am confused as hell. So who've we got where? Right, what, Kane, whereabouts are you wanting to stand?
In
the
can I
front?
stand next to? Yeah, I mean, as far forward as possible for me, the better.
Right, so
Without getting in.
that kind of looks like that. Is everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that's
good.
fine.
Right, okay, and then we'll call it there for the night, as we are about to charge into the unknown and see what's in the room.
What could possibly go wrong, eh?
What
I swear it's just
possibly-
like an old lady giving out cookies or something.
I won't lose my penis.
No, we Danny should be like, waiting here for years, you had to kill a load of bro. No. When I was a lass.
Well, thank you for another good game. I enjoyed it thoroughly.